More than 80% of adults over 50 report dissatisfaction with the appearance of their upper arms. Most of them believe the problem is excess fat. Most of them have tried dieting, cardio, or arm wraps. None of it worked. And the reason none of it worked is because the problem is not fat. I am going to say that again because it is that important. The loose, hanging, sagging tissue on the back of your upper arms is not primarily a fat problem. It is a muscle problem. And until you understand that distinction, every cream you buy, every wrap you try, and every calorie you cut is addressing the wrong target. Here is the misconception that is costing you years of frustration. You look at your arm, you see softness, you see drooping, and your brain says fat. That is because we have been conditioned to associate softness with fat. But softness can come from something else entirely: muscle atrophy. When a muscle shrinks, it loses volume. When it loses volume, the skin that was stretched over it no longer has anything to hold it up. The skin does not shrink to match. It sags, it hangs, it drapes, and it looks exactly like fat to the untrained eye. But it is not fat, it is the absence of the muscle that used to fill that space. Please subscribe to Dr. Nathan Hayes and hit the like button. This channel exists because the system profits when you stay sick, not when you get better. What I am about to walk you through, nobody at your next gym session or doctor's appointment is going to explain to you. The muscle on the back of your upper arm is called the triceps brachii. It has three heads: the long head, the lateral head, and the medial head. Together they form the bulk of the tissue on the posterior side of your upper arm, from your shoulder to your elbow. In a well-maintained arm, the triceps fills the space between the bone and the skin, creating a firm, toned contour. When the triceps atrophies, which begins accelerating after the age of 40, that space empties. The skin, which has also lost elasticity due to declining collagen production, has nothing to cling to. It hangs. That hanging tissue is what people call bat wings, bingo wings, or saggy arms. And the solution is not cutting calories. The solution is rebuilding the muscle that disappeared. Here is the number that should concern you. After the age of 30, the average adult loses between 3 and 8% of their muscle mass per decade. After 60, that rate accelerates dramatically. This process is called sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss. Sarcopenia is not a disease. It is a natural biological process, but it is dramatically accelerated by inactivity. If you spend most of your day sitting, if you do not regularly challenge your muscles with resistance, the loss is faster, deeper, and harder to reverse. The triceps is one of the first muscles to visibly atrophy because most daily activities do not require you to extend your arm against resistance. You push things, you pull things, you lift things. Almost nothing in your daily routine asks your triceps to work hard, so it quietly disappears. And there is a second factor compounding the problem: collagen. Collagen is the structural protein that gives your skin its firmness, elasticity, and ability to snap back into shape. After 25, collagen production declines by approximately 1% per year. By 50, you have lost roughly 25% of the collagen you had at 25. By 60, it is closer to 35%. The skin becomes thinner, less elastic, and less able to conform to the shape underneath it. So you have two forces working simultaneously. The muscle underneath is shrinking. The skin on top is losing its ability to tighten. The result is the sag you see in the mirror, and addressing only one of these factors will not fix the problem. You need to address both. Before I show you the exercises, I need to say something as a physician. There are situations where this protocol is not appropriate. If you have a diagnosed rotator cuff tear, active tendinitis in the elbow or shoulder, or have had recent shoulder surgery, do not perform these exercises without clearance from an orthopedic specialist. The movements I am about to demonstrate place load on the shoulder and elbow joints. In a healthy joint, this is beneficial. In an injured joint, it can cause further damage. If you have no joint issues and simply have arms that have lost their tone, this protocol is for you. Let me walk you through exactly what is happening and how to reverse it. The protocol has two parts. Part 1, rebuild the triceps. Part 2, restore the skin. Both are essential. Neither works without the other. Part 1, 4 exercises that specifically target the 3 heads of the triceps. You do not need a gym. You do not need weights. You need a chair, a wall, and your own body weight. Exercise 1, wall push-ups. Stand facing a wall, arms extended, palms flat against the wall at shoulder height. Your feet should be approximately 2 feet from the wall. Slowly bend your elbows, bringing your chest toward the wall. Keep your elbows tucked close to your body, not flared out to the sides. This is critical. When your elbows flare out, the load shifts to your chest. When your elbows stay tucked against your ribs, the load transfers directly to the triceps. That is the muscle we are targeting. Push back to the starting position. That is 1 repetition. Start with 10 repetitions. Rest 30 seconds. Repeat 3 times. If 10 is too easy, move your feet further from the wall. If 10 is too hard, move closer. Exercise 2. Chair dips. Sit on the edge of a sturdy chair. Place your palms on the edge of the seat beside your hips, fingers wrapping over the edge. Slide your hips off the chair so your weight is supported by your hands. Slowly bend your elbows to lower your body. Go down until your elbows reach approximately 90 degrees. Do not go deeper. Deeper than 90 degrees places excessive stress on the shoulder capsule. Push back up. That is 1 repetition. Start with 8 repetitions, rest 30 seconds, 3 sets. If this is too challenging, keep your feet closer to the chair and bend your knees. This reduces the percentage of body weight your arms must support. As you get stronger over the coming weeks, progressively straighten your legs until they are fully extended. Exercise 3, overhead triceps extension. You need 1 object with some weight, a full water bottle, a small bag of rice, a book, anything between 1 and 3 pounds. Hold the object with both hands. Raise it directly overhead, arms fully extended. Slowly bend your elbows, lowering the object behind your head. Keep your upper arm stationary, pointing straight up. Only your forearms move. Lower until you feel a gentle stretch in the back of your arms, then extend back up. That is 1 repetition. 12 repetitions, 3 sets. 30 seconds rest between sets. This exercise specifically targets the long head of the triceps, which is the head most responsible for the fullness on the inner back portion of your upper arm. When the long head atrophies, that is where the deepest sag appears. Exercise 4. Diamond push-ups on your knees. Get on your hands and knees on the floor. Place your hands together directly beneath your chest, forming a diamond shape with your thumbs and index fingers touching. Lower your chest toward your hands by bending your elbows. Keep your elbows tucked tight against your body. Push back up. This is the most intense triceps exercise in the protocol. Start with 5 repetitions, 3 sets. If 5 is too difficult, do 3 and build up over time. Do not sacrifice form for repetitions. Sloppy form shifts the load to the wrong muscles and increases injury risk. 4 exercises, wall push-ups, chair dips, overhead extensions, diamond push-ups every other day, not every day. Your muscles need 48 hours between sessions to repair and grow. Training every day without rest produces inflammation, not growth. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Pick 3 days and commit. Here is the principle that makes this work. Progressive overload. Your muscles will only grow if they are consistently challenged beyond their current capacity. This means every week you must increase the difficulty slightly. Week 1, wall push-ups with feet 2 feet from the wall. Week 2, 2.5 feet. Week 3, 3 feet. The same principle applies to every exercise. More repetitions, more sets, heavier objects, greater range, small increments consistently applied over weeks force the triceps to adapt by growing larger and firmer. Without progressive overload, your muscles adapt to the current load and stop growing entirely. This is why people do the same exercises for months and see no change. The stimulus stopped being challenging. Now part 2, the skin. Rebuilding the triceps is half the equation. If the skin has lost its elasticity, the muscle underneath will be firmer, but the skin will still drape loosely over it. You need to support the skin's ability to tighten and conform to the new muscle volume beneath it. There are 3 interventions that directly improve skin elasticity and collagen density in the upper arms. None of them require expensive creams or procedures. First, collagen through diet. Your body manufactures collagen from amino acids, primarily glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline. The richest dietary source of these amino acids is bone broth. Real bone broth, simmered for 12 to 24 hours, not the powdered instant variety. 1 cup per day provides the raw materials your body needs to rebuild collagen in skin tissue. If bone broth is not accessible, chicken skin, sardines with bones, and egg whites are strong alternatives. And one critical cofactor: vitamin C. Without vitamin C, your body cannot assemble collagen molecules regardless of how many amino acids you consume. 1 orange per day, 1 bell pepper, a handful of strawberries. The vitamin C enables the assembly line. Second, dry brushing. Before your morning shower, take a natural bristle brush and brush the skin on your upper arms using long, firm strokes from the elbow toward the shoulder. Always brush toward the heart. Dry brushing does 3 things simultaneously. It mechanically exfoliates dead skin cells, improving texture and tone. It stimulates blood circulation in the underlying tissue, delivering more nutrients and oxygen to the skin cells. And it activates the lymphatic system directly beneath the skin, helping clear metabolic waste that contributes to a puffy, swollen appearance. 2 minutes per arm, every morning before showering. Within 2 weeks, the skin on your upper arms will feel noticeably firmer and smoother. Third, cold water exposure. At the end of your shower, turn the water to the coldest setting you can tolerate. Direct it onto your upper arms for 30 seconds per arm. Cold water triggers vasoconstriction, a rapid tightening of the blood vessels near the skin surface. When you step out of the cold water, the vessels dilate again, flooding the area with fresh blood. This expansion-contraction cycle, repeated daily, trains the vascular system in your skin to maintain better tone and elasticity. It also stimulates collagen synthesis at the cellular level. Research shows that brief cold exposure activates cold shock proteins that promote tissue repair. Uncomfortable for 60 seconds, beneficial for 24 hours, and it costs you absolutely nothing except the willingness to tolerate discomfort. I had a patient, I will call her Eleanor, 63 years old, retired nurse. She came to me embarrassed to wear short sleeves. She had tried arm wraps, compression garments, and 2 different expensive tightening creams. Nothing worked. I examined her arms. The tissue was soft but not fatty. A simple skin fold test confirmed minimal subcutaneous fat. The problem was obvious. Her triceps had atrophied significantly. The muscle volume that once filled her upper arm was gone. I put her on this exact protocol, 3 days per week of the 4 exercises, starting at the lowest difficulty level: daily bone broth, daily dry brushing, cold water finish after every shower. She followed it without exception. After 4 weeks, she told me her arms felt firmer when she pressed them. After 8 weeks, the visible sag had reduced measurably. She could see the contour of her triceps returning when she extended her arm. After 12 weeks, she wore a sleeveless blouse to her granddaughter's birthday party for the first time in 6 years. Her daughter noticed before she said anything. Eleanor did not have surgery. She did not buy a $200 cream. She did not starve herself on a calorie deficit. She rebuilt what time had taken away using a chair, a wall, bone broth, a brush, and cold water, every tool under $2 a day. One more factor I need to address. For women over 50, there is a hormonal component to both muscle loss and skin laxity. Estrogen decline during and after menopause accelerates collagen breakdown and reduces the rate of muscle protein synthesis. This is why many women notice their arms changing dramatically in their early to mid-50s. It is not coincidence. It is hormonal. Estrogen was protecting both the muscle and the skin, and when it declines, both deteriorate faster. This does not mean the situation is hopeless. It means the protocol is more important, not less. The exercises, the collagen support, the skin interventions, they compensate for what the hormonal shift took away. You are working with a narrower margin, which is why consistency matters more than intensity. And one nutritional detail most people get wrong: protein intake. After 50, your body becomes less efficient at using dietary protein for muscle synthesis. This is called anabolic resistance. To build the same amount of muscle, you need more protein per meal than a younger person. The research consistently shows that adults over 50 should consume 25 to 30 grams of protein per meal 3 times per day to maintain and build muscle mass. That is roughly a palm-sized portion of chicken, fish, or eggs at every meal. Most people over 50 are eating roughly half that amount. You cannot build a muscle without the raw materials. If your protein intake is low, the exercises will produce minimal results regardless of how consistently you perform them. How old are you? Write your age in the comments. The reason I ask is that muscle loss accelerates at different rates at different ages. Your age tells me whether you are in the early stage where prevention matters most or the later stage where aggressive intervention is needed. That distinction shapes everything I recommend. Here is your complete weekly schedule. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 4 exercises, 3 sets each, progressive overload every week, total time per session, 15 minutes. Every single day, regardless of exercise day, bone broth or collagen-rich food, dry brushing before shower, cold water on arms for 60 seconds after shower, 25 to 30 grams of protein at every meal. That is the full system. Exercise rebuilds the muscle. Nutrition provides the raw materials. Skincare restores the surface. All 3 together. None works in isolation. Week 1. You will feel soreness in the back of your upper arms after the first 2 sessions. This is normal. This is delayed onset muscle soreness. It means the muscle fibers have been challenged and are beginning the repair process. Week 2. Soreness diminishes. Strength increases slightly. You can add 1 or 2 repetitions to each exercise. Week 3. The arms begin to feel firmer to the touch when you press them, even though visual changes may not be obvious yet. Week 4. Visible contour begins returning. The inner arm shows the earliest improvement because the long head of the triceps responds fastest to overhead extensions. Weeks 6 through 12. Progressive visible tightening. The sag reduces. The arm fills out, the skin begins conforming to the new volume underneath. 3 mistakes that will sabotage your results. Mistake 1. Doing only cardio. Running, cycling, swimming. These burn calories but do not build the triceps. You cannot tone a muscle you are not directly loading. Cardio is excellent for heart health. It does nothing for saggy arms. Mistake 2. Using the same light weight forever. If you start with a 1-pound water bottle for overhead extensions and never increase the weight, your triceps will adapt within 2 weeks and stop growing. Progressive overload is not optional. It is the mechanism through which muscle growth occurs. Mistake 3. Skipping protein. You can perform every exercise perfectly 3 times per week for 6 months, and if your protein intake is below 25 grams per meal, the muscle will not grow. Building material is not negotiable. Now, your 5-step plan for this week. Step 1. Tonight, do a simple self-test. Pinch the back of your upper arm between your thumb and fingers. If the fold you grab is thin, less than an inch, your problem is not fat. It is muscle loss. The protocol I just described is your answer. Step 2. Tomorrow, do your first session. Wall push-ups, 10 reps, 3 sets. Chair dips, 8 reps, 3 sets. Overhead extensions with a water bottle, 12 reps, 3 sets. Diamond push-ups on knees, 5 reps, 3 sets. Total time, 15 minutes. Step 3. Today, buy bone broth ingredients or a high-quality pre-made bone broth. Start 1 cup per day tomorrow. Add 1 serving of vitamin C-rich food to every meal. Step 4. Buy a natural bristle dry brush. They cost less than $5. Tomorrow morning before your shower, brush each upper arm for 2 minutes using firm strokes from elbow to shoulder. Step 5. Tomorrow morning, at the end of your shower, turn the water cold. Direct it onto your upper arms for 30 seconds per arm. 60 seconds total. Uncomfortable, effective, free. The complete protocol. 3 exercise days per week, 15 minutes per session, progressive overload, daily bone broth with vitamin C, daily dry brushing before shower, daily cold water on arms after shower, 25 to 30 grams of protein at every meal, total daily cost, under $2, total daily time, 20 minutes including the exercises. Eleanor's arms did not change because of a miracle. They changed because the inputs changed. The muscle received a stimulus it had not received in years. The skin received support it had never been given. And the body did what it has always done when given the right conditions. It rebuilt. Nobody at your next appointment is going to sit down and walk you through this. There is no billing code for explaining why your arms sag. There is no financial incentive for the system to tell you that a chair, a wall, and bone broth can do what a $200 cream cannot. I am Nathan Hayes, and I have spent 15 years watching people spend money on solutions that cannot work because they are targeting the wrong problem. Saggy arms after 50 are not a fat problem. They are a muscle problem compounded by a skin problem. Both are reversible. Both respond to specific, targeted, inexpensive interventions. The protocol I just described costs less than a cup of coffee per day. The exercises take 15 minutes 3 times a week. The skin routine takes 5 minutes every morning. In 12 weeks, your arms will look and feel different, not because of a product, because of physiology. Subscribe if that difference matters to you. Please subscribe to Dr. Nathan Hayes and hit the like button, and thank you for watching. See you in the next video.